Hello, today we will be starting a new series which is electromagnetism. This will be bilingual. First, I will finish my lecture in English, then I will start in Bengali. And this is extremely intended for undergraduate student. And this is a very fundamental course, and this is included in engineering also, and of course physics honors students need to also learn this, and this is something which will be very helpful for competitive exams like in NET, SET, etc., GATE, etc. Before going into electromagnetic theory, the formal theory of electromagnetism, I would like to tell you some problems. Suppose I have this source, I transfer the power or the signal of this source to this oscilloscope. Now I have a wire. I do not know what is the length of the wire, because if I do not know electromagnetism, then my intuition say that length of the wire will not affect this voltage transmission from source to the load. But if this wire is like 3 or 4 kilometers or say 1 kilometer long, then it is observed that there is a phase shift or there is a time delay in the voltage or current transferred to the load from the source, and this you cannot resolve with circuit theory. For this we need electromagnetism, because in electromagnetism we deal current and voltage as waves, and as wave propagates, we know a phase shift introduced. So if I consider this is my current, this current is a function of both space and time. And if I consider the propagation axis to be the z-axis, then we can readily say that at z equal to 0, it was I-t, whereas t equal to some time, some instantaneous time which is varying, and it is equal to I cosine omega t. This part is 0, but as z increases, this time delay, this is a time factor, this is a time dependence of the wave, and there is a minus sign, so there will be a delay introduced. This is a time delay, and this can only be explained with the help of electromagnetism. Moreover, if we are thinking about computers, cell phones, like our digital electronics, then in those computing devices we have millions of logic gates, and logic gates are basically connected with wires. Now suppose there is a wire which is connected between these two logic gates. These two logic gates are actually used for switching action, and as the modern day technology is actually working on faster gate switching time, and now we are having switching time of the order of picoseconds. So pico means 10 to the power minus 12, sorry. And if this wire provides a delay of 200 picoseconds and my gate switching time is 100 picoseconds, so there will be a serious difference in voltage coming from here to here. And this can also be addressed by electromagnetism only. I would like to add that time delay introduced in this scenario is equal to length of the wire divided by the voltage. And one more thing also I would like to add, that these are acting as a switching device. Switching between what? switching between two states, that is high voltage 1 state, low voltage 0 state. There is another case where in circuit theory we have no answer. We need to take into account the electromagnetism. This is a very simple problem, simple in a naked eye. Suppose I have a source here. I have two wires. R is the resistor, this is the load. Whatever is fed here is transferred here. Now if this portion of the wire is given a bending, then circuit theory says that there will be no difference in the voltage output here at the oscilloscope. What we got here, I'll get here also. But for higher frequencies, it is observed that there is a voltage drop across this resistor R is equal to 0. Circuit theory says that because of this bending, this voltage drop will be exactly equal to the voltage drop across this resistor R. But at higher frequencies, this is not true. The voltage drop across this resistor R is 0. And that is due to the bending of this wire, a phase shift of 360 degrees is introduced, because this will act as an inductor. This wire will act as an inductance at lower frequencies, whereas at higher frequencies it will act as a transmission line. And in electromagnetism we will study transmission lines. So we can say that an ordinary wire is just not an ordinary wire. There are some secondary effects of the wire. It can introduce phase shift. It can thought of as a inductance, as a capacitor, and these are the secondary effects. And in order to take into account the secondary effects of this secondary effects of the wire, we need electromagnetism. There are also application of electromagnetism is fiber optics. We know that 99% of world traffic is carried out by optical fibers, because optical fibers offers are a very little attenuation, almost no loss, almost no energy loss occurs in optical fibers. And from electromagnetic theory we came to know about how electromagnetic waves actually travels inside these fiber cables. Antennas are indispensable part of today's wireless communication. We cannot think about wireless communication without antenna. And electromagnetic theory gives us an understanding of how this antenna works. So these are the things, these are the branches of our modern society, our modern civilization, modern industries, where in almost everywhere we will find the application of electromagnetic theory. Historically, electromagnetic theory was developed first, and in circuit theory we have learned this KCL, KVL, Kirchhoff's current law, Kirchhoff's voltage law, Ohm's law, etc. And this KCL, KVL they are basically some special cases of Maxwell's equation, where the delay between any 2 points of the circuit is actually neglected. In low frequency we have also have applications of electromagnetic theories in motors, generators, etc. Electromagnetic theory has also application in biophysics also, in biology also, which is known as bioelectromagnetics. So this electromagnetism is a very fundamental one, so we need to study it very carefully.